hit here, able to grow things and build a lot of value from zero. Yesterday, I hosted the men in my house. Beautiful time with the men. I want to appreciate all the men who put in effort for us to have these meetings. We had a beautiful fellowship time yesterday in my house with the men. But I couldn't host them in my house itself. I hosted them in my in-laws' house. And it brought out memories to me of the time when I was living in that house, not because I was sure I would get my own house, but I was living there with the vision that this is a temporary place. But thank God it has come to pass that it's a temporary place because we have a permanent place. I don't know if you're getting me. And these are from things we have learned here. We'll be able to build zero. I was telling the man yesterday, I said, you see, there's a company I and my junior brother started running in Ibadan here at Are. I think our rent was 150,000. I can't forget it. 2 years rent, 150,000. It was 75K per year or 150K. I can't remember. Last month. Now the business is no longer in Ibadan. We've moved everything to Lagos. Last month alone, that business did about 1.4 billion in sales. From zero, we used to share flyer inside UCH. Come and repair your computer. Come and do this. Come and do that. Are you getting me now? From zero. Not zero. From negative. When I can't forget that the money I used to buy furniture to the office, I borrowed it from a bank because there was no money to buy furniture. All the table, all the chair, we borrowed the money. So it was negative. But today is a different story. So what I'm saying is that from the things we are learning here, there's enough potential to build multi-billion. Are you getting me now? Yes. There's enough. So today we're looking at execution again, and I would have loved us to go straight into the practicals, but there's a content I want us to grab very fast, which I learned from London Business School. I know if you're getting me. I learned from London Business School precisely on what are the things that really drive action. And that's why I call it this morning, Action Force. I think there's a movie called Action Force, I think. Go and watch it. I don't know about the movie, but today we're looking at the force of action. Instead of calling it force of action, we call it Action Force. All right? Am I the one moving or you? Let me check it. I enjoy myself better when I'm controlling my slides, so I can go back and forth. So go back to the beginning. Okay, remember last week, if people know that smoking kills, why do they keep smoking? Remember that content, right? Yes, if people know that smoking kills, if people know that reading can make you rich, is it that people don't want to be rich? No. There's a problem with action. Have you observed also that I don't know how this thing works in life, but whatever will make you do well in life is always hard. Hello? If you sit down and say, let's go and watch a movie, very easy. Let's sit down for 2 hours and watch, let me advertise one of these movies now. All these Netflix Yoruba movies, give me one of them that's very popular. No, I don't know that one. I don't know that one. 2 popular ones that happened this year. Anikulapo. Let's go with Anikulapo. 2 hours. You sit down. Wow, great. But let's go and sit down and read for 2 hours. Before 10 minutes, what happens? Why is it that whatever will make us in life is always hard? Why? I always wonder why. What percent of people go back to smoking? And the answer is 90% people go back to smoking. And from research, it shows is that the major reason why people don't do it is because there's an attitudinal problem. There's what? Attitude. There's an attitude. that is in, and if you understand what attitude means, you get the context. So if anybody who has not done a course of attitude, now for instance, might not understand what I'm saying. That's why I said prerequisites. If I say attitude and you don't know what it means, you might miss the total value of what I'm talking about now. There's a right attitude that guarantees doing. I think that guarantee is wrong. Is it this one? It's double E, right? Or this one? There's a right attitude that guarantees doing. And let me show it very fast. Attitude is extremely important. It determines how you think about something and eventually what you want. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So attitude is not what you are thinking, it's how you think about it. And how you think about determines what you do. So let's quickly look at what are the right attitude or system we can create around our life that guarantees that we do very fast. All right? So what is the right attitude? Wow. Sorry about this. I don't know how the slide got messed up somewhere. Remember, if you worked in a company before, there's something they call carrot and what? Stick. What is carrot? Benefits, entitlement, bonuses. What is stick? Memos, fines, queries. I mean, even sack can be a carrot. Can be a stick. So most of the time in the company, they always motivate you with what? Carrot and stick. If you do well, they'll give you carrot. If you are not doing well, they give you what? Stick. That's how you motivate people in the company. So the question is this: between carrot and sticks, which one motivates people more for action? Carrot, you are sure? Let me ask you. If there is $1 million here, and you are here, and we say the first to get there will get the 1 million, that's one option. Or you are here, there is a lion there, and that place is your escape point. In which of the situations will you appear fastest over there? The lion. Sometimes the stick can be which is a lion, can be a better motivator than what? Than carrot. You appear there if the lion appears here now. Even people that you think are old. So that says 80, you become 16 years. There's a change of attitude based on that lion. Attitude changes. But let's quickly look at it very fast. New products that Nokia designed in 2008. We all know Nokia, right? Anybody with Nokia here? If you are with Nokia, you come and kneel down here very fast. Anybody? But remember, in that 2008, if you have to say who has the phone here, everybody has what? Nokia. Everybody. Everybody. This was the market share of Nokia in 2008. Excuse me. Nokia was controlling the biggest share of the market at that time. All right? Look at Nokia versus Apple in 2008. Nokia was in charge. Look at their share. You can see how big it was. Half of the telephone was Nokia. So Nokia had this mindset like, I don't care what you create, we are in charge. That's the mindset he had. All right? Now, let's see what happened over time. If you are Nokia, how will you react to Apple in 2008? Was it a threat or was it an opportunity? Remember today, let's not use Nigeria as a case study. Let's use a place like America, where a company like Apple dominates. As of 2008, how was Nokia seeing Apple? Were they a threat, an opportunity, or nothing? What do you think? I'm sure they were not a threat because they were too small. This tiny company is like having a bread factory and everybody in Ibadan eats your bread. Then one small boy in Bere now starts making bread. You say, look at this bread. These are just small children. Like in Lagos now, there's a company called Boku. Is it Boku? Boku, yes. almost every 200, 300 meters inside Agege, you see their supermarket. I'm like, ah. And gradually they are going to beating, what's this South African, what's the name now? ShopRite. Yes. Small. Now, if you are Nokia, how will you see Apple in 2008? Now, companies that approach the new way of competing as an opportunity to be exploited rather than a threat to be defended against tend to do better. True or false? Please read it carefully. Companies that approach new ways of competing as an opportunity to exploit rather than a threat to defend. What are we saying here? People that see carrots as the better motivator than what? The stick. They tend to do better. True or false? Who can help us? What's your answer? False. Okay? Anybody with true? Anybody with true? Pastor, please. You know, one major challenge when I was thinking about this class, I'm making it very practical, is that when you go to a business school, one of the good things about a teacher teaching in a business school is that he can write. Because every point you give, I should have to write it down, and we can make reference to it after. So I don't know how we can do it in this business school. We need to have like a whiteboard where we can write. So that while we are interacting, we can be putting down points, make reference to it, come back to it, and that way we can be, because most of the time when we're just talking, it doesn't make it as interactive as a business class is supposed to be. All right? Okay. Okay, what happens? The answer is what? Let's see the answer. The answer is what? False. It's not true. Companies that approach the new way as an opportunity rather than a threat tend to do better. The answer is false. It's not true. According to this guy, for his PhD in Harvard, he studied how U.S. newspaper industries responded to what? Disruption. What disrupted the newspaper industry? The internet. Does anybody buy newspaper again? If you are here, you bought newspaper yesterday. Anybody like that? If you have to check you, we'll take you for CT scan now. To check something is wrong somewhere. If you bought newspaper yesterday. I get it now. One finding. Those companies that approached disruption as a threat ended up what? Failing in their response also. So why do you think so? The reason is simple. Every time you focus only on the problem as a threat, smoking will kill you. That's a threat. When they are 100% focused on threat, the threat becomes top priority. You drop everything and do what? And run. And this is what brings about the failure of responding to the threat. So you are not supposed to stop what you are doing now. You are supposed to respond to the threat, but not drop everything and what? And run. Number two, interestingly, this does not mean that those that approach disruption as an opportunity also succeeded. Another of his findings that those companies that approach disruption as an opportunity also what? Failed in their response. Why do you think so? When they treat the threat as 100% opportunity, there is no sense of what? Urgency. And that's what brings about the failure of companies that treat disruption as an opportunity. So for instance now, it was the companies that approached disruption as what? Both what? Threat and opportunity that took the right action to get the right result. And you will see it in a very important story now. So if people know that smoking will kill, why do they keep smoking? Most of the time they go back because at that time the smoking is seen as a what? As a what? Threat, opportunity. Threat. And because it's only threat, they will go back. So they respond to the issue of dying only. They immediately stop smoking. But 6 months later, they never die. They are still alive. So what did they do? They go back. Because the threat did not happen. Why? There was no opportunity in that equation. But those. Now the 10% who fully stopped smoking, what happened to them? If you do not stop smoking, you will die soon. But this is not the only way. I want you to what? Think about it. Because being alive is not just about being alive. If you can give him a picture of what being alive healthy can mean, by the time you combine the threat and the what? Opportunity of being alive, it breeds the better attitude for what? Action. Remember the Israelites at the Red Sea. Let's look at this story very fast. You see, every time I'm in a business meeting and I have to use Bible, I'll tell them, you don't have to think about it religiously. Think about it as like a story. Are you getting me now? And to help you. And this is not just a story, it's a business story. Will you believe that the children of Israel at the Red Sea was a business story? Let's look at it very fast. All right? Now, it was told the king of Egypt that the people had what? Fled. And the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people, and they said, why have we done this? That we have let Israel go from serving us. So he made ready his chariot and took his people with him. Also, he took 600 choices of chariots and all the chariots of Egypt with captains and every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of who? Who hardened it? God. You know why? God needed a threat. It wasn't by mistake. God needed a threat. You will see the balance now. And the pursuit of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with boldness. So the Egyptians pursued them. All the horses and the chariots of Pharaoh, his horsemen and his army, and overtook them. Doing what? When I say overtook, it doesn't mean he has overtaken them. He saw them. What were they doing? What were they doing? Was their plan to go and camp? No. Because there was no threat, they were doing what? They were camping by the seaside. At that time, they saw the sea as a dead end. You know, some people have, for instance, in this country now, some people have closed their mind that you can never make it in Nigeria. Yes or yes? Yes. They are at the Red Sea in their own life. They have camp. Let us be here till we go. There's nothing I can do that can work in this country. At this exchange rate, everything is over. There's a conference, not a conference, now end of the year dinner, gala, for one of the companies I run. We're having in Dubai. Is it next weekend? And one of my staff is supposed to go with me, and we didn't book our ticket on time. Now we're trying to book our ticket. Every flight from Dubai on Emirates, because it's only with Emirates airline now you can get visa to Dubai. Every ticket from Dubai to Nigeria, from around 16, 17, 18, 19, almost the end of the year, is all paid for. And that ticket is $2,000+. It's all paid for. But I told you, the things are not working. Why somebody is camping at the Red Sea, somebody is walking where? On that sea, because there's a different dynamics to what is driving him. And you see how that dynamics help children of Israel now. Let's look at it very fast. They were going to the promised land, which was the opportunity. But yet, they did what? They camped at the sea. Not seeing the opportunity so seeing the opportunity is not enough to take action. The opportunity was there, but they still camped. Until what? God had to give them a threat. It was God that created that threat. But Pharaoh don't agree, say, they go now, yes or yes? How come he now say, let's pursue them? Bible says God did what? He was a God, he was part of God's strategy, because he knows that for you to take action, you need to have an opportunity and what? And threat. That's why if you go abroad, you observe that immigrants, most of the time, do better than the citizens of that country. Go and check. Most of the Fortune 500 technology companies in America are run by Indians. They're all immigrants. You know why? America is opportunity. The poverty of India is a threat. An average American does not have any threat chasing him. He's okay, he's a citizen, he can go anywhere. So when they enter that country, they overtake everybody. Why? There is a threat and there's an opportunity. So opportunity alone is not enough. And when Pharaoh drew near, the same people that were camping, when Pharaoh drew near, the Israel lifted their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. So they were what? Fear is good sometimes. Hello? Fear is not bad. It's good to be afraid. But, is there a problem in Nigeria? Yes, it's not a lie. Sometimes as believers, some of these fake technology they taught us that you must be saying positive. It's not a solution. Positive confession does not make things positive. Hello? Don't be deceiving yourself. Just because you say things are bad doesn't mean they will be bad for you. I don't know if you're getting me now. Yes. When you say things are bad, you are telling yourself there is a threat for you to take the right action to make sure that bad is minimized or disappears. But when you keep saying it is well, Papa, I need a well, oh no well. Anytime I say it is not, things are terrible. I'm reminding myself there's a threat. They were afraid. And so they cried out to the Lord. Why did they cry before? So they were going somewhere. Because there was no what? There was no threat. Then they said to Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, you have taken us away to die in the wilderness. Why are you there with us to bring us out of Egypt? Is it not the word that we told you in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may what? Serve Egyptians, for we have been better off and all of that. You know how human being complains. And Lord said to Moses, why what? Tell them to do what? Go forward. Why didn't he tell them to go forward before? The reason is that there was no capacity to go forward because there was no threat. I don't know if you're getting me. Were they not camped by that sea before? Why didn't God say go forward? You know why? No matter where God says go forward, because there is no threat, there is no capacity to take that action. Which is what I'm saying. For you to take action, execute, you need to have that attitude. Sometimes when there is no threat, you go and create it. You manufacture it. It motivates you for more aggressive action than usual self. You need what? The threat and the opportunity to go forward in spite of the sea. Let me ask you, was the sea actually in front of them? Yes. But was the sea their problem? No. The problem is they were not having the right attitude to overcome the sea. Look at this lady, what's her name? Funke Akindele. She's launching a movie. Is it today or tomorrow? Is it today, Abi? Now, do you know how long she has been advertising that movie now? Do you know how many months? You don't reach like 4 months. Oh. Yes, that they have been doing Everybody Loves Jennifer. And they have been dancing. When you now hear that movie did how many what? Maybe 3 billion. In this same economy that you are complaining that things are not working. Somebody is cashing out. Why? I was telling my wife, I said, Funke don't launch real estate now. Do you know that? She now has Jennifer Gardens. In this economy, listen, how come there are people that are doing well, yet they are taking more action than people that are not doing well? Because even though they are doing well, they create threats for themselves to drive themselves to the next level. Because thinking about doing well is not enough. There has to be something pushing, something is chasing you from behind. Which is why sometimes you have to change your association. If you are around human beings who are content with where they are, they want to sit by the Red Sea, move away from them. He said he prepares a what? A table before me. Where? Even with the enemy, because the enemy is needed. It's a threat. The table is the opportunity. The enemy is the what? It's a threat. You can see how Bible is business now, even though this is some what? It's a business statement. This statement you are seeing is business. If you are reading Bible, you are not seeing from spiritual things that you have been seeing spiritually for 20, 30 years, and you start seeing business statements inside them, you've not started reading it. Start seeing business statements. So you need the threat and the opportunity. Is it clear this morning, everybody? So even if you have no threat, you always do. If you are not aware of it, look around you. You always find one. For example, Nigeria is a what? Very good one, I tell you. Being in Nigeria is one of the best things in the world. Hello? Being a what? Being a what? Is great. It's a threat. Listen, where will dollar be tomorrow? Do you know? Nobody knows. Dollar was about 1,750 2 weeks ago or last week. As of last week, it came to about 1,600 and something. Everybody who bought product at that top level, especially in the billions, if they are not careful, they will lose 200, 300 million. So Nigeria is a good threat. It wakes you up all the time. It wakes you up. Even Bible says, woe to them who are at what? At ease. You can't be at ease. You need a threat all the time. If you don't have, create it. Find something to keep driving you all the time. You know, in those days, when I used to live with my in-laws, you know, they used to have some good cars. My father-in-law sometimes can be a very hard man. If you drive his car, he can say, why are you driving the car? Bring the key. He used to pay me. He used to pay me. I will soon buy my own. It was a motivating force. So when I park my own, it's even bigger than your own very soon. I don't think you're getting me now. Create threats. Create what? Threats. It drives you to action. All this I don't have anything to do. You say lie. It's because there's nothing is driving you. There is too many things to do. I wanted to buy paintings last week. Paintings for the house, because sometimes it's not like I'm into painting like that. But you see, when you build a house in Nigeria, you have a lot of artisans who didn't go to school. So things that should be straight, you see them bend. Electrician that should put maybe all the switches board inside the wall properly, you see, it will bend like that. So you need a photo frame to cover it. Yes. So I was buying photo frames to cover a lot of these, things. So when you come, you will not know the things I'm covering. You think, nice photo. I'm covering something. So I saw a shop on Instagram where they're selling photo frames. So I chatted them, where's your showroom? So they gave me the address inside Ogba. I got there. I observed stuff while I was there. As I was there looking at what I want to buy, men kept coming in saying, I have to delivery for pickup. I have delivery for pickup. Every time somebody in Lagos tells you he has a delivery to pick up, that man is an Okada man or a dispatch guy. It means somebody has ordered the product online. He has paid. And the job of the deliverer is to pick up and what? I was surprised. Were you telling me that without any physical store, without a showroom, just with Instagram, Somebody can be making sales like this, and someone will not tell you Nigeria is not working. How can you say it's not working? Eh? Men were loading bikes. I'm like, so people buy all these flowers, all these artificial flowers, all these vases. People were just, I was surprised. Not that they were coming physically, they were sending spiritual. They bought it spiritually. And you have Instagram on your phone, you have everything on your phone, and you are selling nothing. How? How? You need to create threats. Oh. Listen, there's no human being in this church that should be trekking to church. How much is a good car? How much? With all the opportunity in this country. How much is a good car? Before you, now that things are funny, at least a good car will cost about 20 million. You know, now that things are funny. And that 20 million is managed. Because a proper car in Nigeria now will cost you like 100 million. At least a car to manage. Are you getting me now? If you want to manage a car now, yes, it's about 100 million. And guess what? In this same country, go and check. People are still bringing in cars. And people are what? What are you talking about? So the opportunity is there, I beg. Please, let's quickly look at our practical session again very fast. This will help us a little bit this morning. I want to show us very fast. You see, you know, the beauty of what I'm doing with you is that I'm not teaching you theory. I'm also in the marketplace. So what I'm showing you is practically what you can do to start moving things. Now, listen to me. If you don't have the right marketing mindset, you can't take off in business at all. Which is why we watched this video last week. Remember this video, Abby? We don't need to play it again. Where they were pouring balls from up there. And we started saying, what is the ball? What is the man? What is the cup? And what's the staircase? If we had a board now, I would have loved us to write several answers down, just for us to be able to discuss. What is this? What is this? What is this? And then we can, you know, do this we used to do when we were in school. Cross and say, two of this is this, two of this is that. Then remember again, look at this flyer. Can you see this flyer? Imagine somebody designs a flyer like this and sends it out. This flyer is like somebody pouring ball from up that place. Nobody will see anything. You know why? Number one, you see, let me say this, so those who don't know. Remember, one of the things I said, let me see if I can go back. No understanding of what? In Nigeria, what we don't know is that our people don't like to read. Hello? Every time your content has to be read, you are wasting your time in Nigeria a lot of times. People don't like to read. So minimize your what? Text. Minimize it totally. Let me, for instance, let me show you a flyer. Look at this flyer. I'll still go back here, don't worry. I'll come back, but I want to show you a flyer. This is an event I did end of this year. You can see me there. That's me at the middle. My photo is only there. I was not. We did have this event about eight states in Nigeria. I was not in one. But my photo helps to what? It's the man of God. It's man of God strategy we use. The general overseer strategy. But you will never see me there in any program. How much text do you see here? Port Harcourt what? Digital money conference. That's all. And then winning the money game. That's all the text. All this, what you're going to get, this one, you are just, then the gift items we are giving, what will you put there? Pictures. Not that you would not write text. Laptop. Who see them? But can you see laptop here? Because you are dealing with Nigerians. You need to understand your customer. Don't be throwing out text. They don't read. Reading is a lot of stress to us. I don't know why. Then, remember, We played this other video yesterday. Remember this video, Abby? Can you remember this video? I won't play it because I don't have time. Another beautiful video of how you catch your customers. Please, even though it looks negative, it's positive we are talking about now. Because that man is trapping those birds. But same way, that's what the customer is trying to, business is trying to do. Not trap negatively, but get the customer to do business with what? With you. So, let me ask you. What is the corn? Remember, they had to put what here? On the floor. They had to put what? It is the corn that attracted what? The birds. Now, if they didn't understand these birds, we didn't know what to put on the floor to attract the birds? No. And that's why, for me, the most important thing first, before you get into any business, understand your customer. Understand the customer, the target audience. If you don't understand him, you won't know what corn. And listen to me. Without this corn, everything here is a waste of time. Yes or yes? So in your business, what is the corn? Case scenario. Look at, let's play this video. Do you have this video? This was a crusade that happened last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. In Ibadan here. Can you play the video? What's happening? We don't need to play it for long. I want to show you the corn. You see, this program, I saw maybe just one billboard or so in Ibadan, or two billboard. But it had a very good corn. Hello? What's the corn? What's the corn? Rice. Ewa. Asho, Ankara, medical outreach. It's a corn, very good corn. Hello? It's a big corn. Listen, if every Sunday we say, we're going to give out 10 bags of rice every Sunday here, you go surprise. Hello? It's a good corn. Sometimes, when you look at an advert, maybe sometimes when there's a program and they do an advert, there are some parts of the human beings they are bringing for that program that might just be a corn. For instance, you see that maybe they are doing an outreach program. They now bring a musician. What's the job of that musician? It's a what? Most of the time it can be a corn. Why? People like to see that musician or whatever. Are you getting me now? It's a corn. It's the corn part of the program. So that when they come, because of the corn, they will fall into the opportunity while they organize that program. So, for instance, don't worry about the video. We don't have time. I have just about four minutes. And you can see the crowd. Did the corn work? Hello? The corn, did it work? They didn't do too much advertising. How many people? I think 1 or 2 people I saw. That's all. But with the corn, word of mouth will sell it. Yeah, great. Free bag of rice. She has to be there. What? How much is the bag of rice now? 80,000. How much is it? 100. Free 100,000. Now listen. That woman's income a day, maybe it's 2,000 naira. Do not say leave that income and come and collect how much? 100. Something that she has to work about 60 or 70 days to achieve. She would leave everything to be there. It's a corn. So that when they come, they can then sell them any product you want to sell them. Because if you don't get their attention, you cannot sell them anything. For instance, This is my own program that I did. What's the con here? Hello? What's the con? Free laptop, free television, power bank, free phone, free this. Does this con work? Yes. Look at the program. This was the program in, I think this is Benin or so. I think this is Benin. This is Abeokuta. This is Akure. And we filled the hall in all locations. Ibadan had the highest attendance. We had about 580 people in Ibadan. There was no billboard. I don't believe in billboard because our people don't read. They like to what? Hear. So I prefer to use radio. And in that radio program, I sprinkled the what? The corn. So in your business, you have to find out what the con is. Don't be wasting advert without a con. Because there's no con, there's nothing to attract them. Are you getting me now? Yes. What are you sprinkling? What are you sprinkling to bring the birds to eat so you can capture them there? So your business, there are some things you create not to make money, just to bring what? Customer. You have to think about it. You have to think about it. What con can you create? What con can you add to your business to drive it? Because without the con, most of the time, you are not effective in your strategy. Imagine you set up that trap for those birds and you are hoping that the birds will just come by themselves and enter. Is it possible? It's the con that brought them. So for me, in business, before I do any advertising, any marketing, I'm always thinking, what con can I use to attract? Sometimes con can be a bonus. Con can be a discount. For instance, let me give you a case scenario. There's a program and production, I've been thinking about doing for like 2 or 3 years now. About selling, training people about selling, sales, marketing. And I started thinking about it yesterday because it buzzed me like, this is our program, we should start it now. Why not start this our big program? But in my head, I don't just start the program. I'm thinking, what is the what? Is the con. So for instance, I can say, for instance, 10 people will be going on with at least 100,000 naira to start their business. It's just 1 million naira it's going to cost. But with that 1 million, do the analysis. Let's assume, with that 1 million, I gather 1,000 people in this place. Are you getting me now? That 1 million, I've not given to anybody yet. It's a con. It has brought them. At that program, when they come, our goal is to sell them on the proper training. Because when I bring them for a conference, people cannot learn much at a conference. So the real value is that maybe there is a training after that people will pay, let's say 50,000 naira for, to come and learn for 3 days how to sell. Are you getting me now? So let's say 50 people now pay 50,000. How much is that? How much is that? 2.5 million. Good. From that 2.5 million, at the training, those that now fit a certain criteria, we will give them how much? 100,000 naira. For them to start their what? Business. So you have helped them to start their business, you have given them knowledge. But not everybody will get it. But immediately you display that con, everybody begins to come because they need how much? 100,000 naira. It's a good con. So don't throw out any advert. Don't throw out any communication without a what? Without a con. Think about it. What con can you add? All right? To what product you are selling. So number one, who is your what? And for me, that's the most important thing. Find out who your customer is. Take time. For instance, praise and worship sells in Nigeria very well. Hello? It's a product. I was looking at the experience yesterday. They have had about 1.2 million views in less than 24 hours. No, I said 1.2. It's not million. No. How many million views? Eh? 1 point, how many million? In 24 hours. Even Shiloh, hello, cannot get that. You know why? Music and message, they are not made. Which one is easier to listen to? Music. Very sweet. I love you more than anything. People love it. So sometimes I sit and look at our choir. We have a product that is selling. I was looking at this guy's birthday. This man that is big in Ibadan. What's his name? Big B. At Big B's birthday in Ibadan here. Do you know gospel artists? They are not plenty. Hello? It's a good product. Those people are selling it. So I look at some of our choir guys. You are not developing yourself in that area. It's a good product. You should have your own channel now. Are you getting me now? Where you are talking out content. Very good ones. Before you know what? It's a good product. I tell you, music, good product. It's not just a product, it's a good corn. Hello? It's a corn. Number 2, where are those customers? If you don't know where your customers are, for instance, do you know why I run my adverts on radio? Let me tell you why. I run my adverts on radio because most people who listen to radio are in their cars. Hello? Most people that listen are in their what? So I target drive time. In the morning, in the evening, when people are driving. Why? For you to be driving, you are doing well small. Hello? It's a target. Yes, now. Somebody who is striking, is not doing well. Hello? So where are they? They are in their car. I want to reach them in their car. For instance, do you know there are some adverts in Lagos you only see in VI? They will not run it on mainland. You know why? People that are on mainland that don't have money. People on the island, when you enter Ikoyi, you start seeing capital investment, portfolio management, money management. You know why? It's people in Ikoyi that can say, let's start with $1 million. Before you can see somebody in Abule Egba who will tell you, let's start with $1 million. You go try. But in Ikoyi, before you talk to 10 people, you go see $1 million, don't come out. Where are they? You have to find out where your customers are. Number 1, what is their need? It is their need that will determine the corn you will use for them. What is the corn you can use to attract them? And what will make them do business with you? All right? This is Business 101. Hello? Please, I want to beg us. If you don't have any threat, create one. And if you are not selling anything, please, this is 2024 is ending now. Between now and end of this year, look for something you can sell and start selling. Remember, let me tell you something about life. It's not everything you will do that will prosper. Yes or yes? Even in Ecclesiastes, I think it was Solomon that said, he said, when you are young, he said, cast your seed. He said, when you are old, he said, don't withhold your hand. You know why? He said, because you don't know which one will prosper. You don't know which one will prosper. So what am I saying? Just because you start something doesn't mean that thing will succeed. But remember, every time you are doing something, you are becoming something. Whatever you do is making you something. And that thing that is making you will guarantee that even if this one does not succeed, the next one will do what? Succeed. So start something. Get an Instagram page. Get TikTok page. Look for something you can sell. Go on GG. Start selling a product. You'll be surprised like play. You move to your permanent site. But everything comes from understanding simple things like this. Know your customer. What is the coin you can use to reach them? Are you getting me now? And gradually, all right, we can make next year one of our greatest year ever. Has somebody been blessed today? Sure. Thank you very much. God bless you.
We can do better than that. Thank you, Pastor. Well, everything that we have been told, we need to practice it. And I like the part that you have question. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, I think we should take that one first. Please, Mike, Brother Isaac. Brother Isaac, Mike.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Please, I think I'm so happy for the con principle. And I want us to be very practical about it. And from my own, from when he was talking, I just looked at the church and I said, can we apply the con principle in the church? Not the principle of rice and all that. There are different principles can be attached to the con principle. This business meeting, Pastor Kunle is a con. Nobody knows about this meeting except the people in the church. Can we do something outside what we've been doing before? Then when he talked about the billboard, can we apply the con principle to the billboard outside? Because when I remember the first time I saw the billboard, I was like, okay, because I know Newsroom, I could relate with the billboard. But a stranger just passing will not be able to relate with it because there's no figure there. I'm not talking about pastor's picture or something. There's a way you see, if I see this picture outside on the billboard, I will feel like, okay, let me see what they are doing here. But, so please, I strongly believe that the con principle can work for us.
Absolutely.
Pastor Kunle is a brand. I'm not saying because he's there. Some people are brand. When we put out this meeting online, some people will just come because of him. So please, I really appreciate we can apply the con principle to Newsroom. Thank you.
Pastor Kunle says no response. You want a question or you want to answer what she says?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Last week I had a chat with Pastor Kunle that all this marketing he's talking about is not looking at people who provide services. It's usually about people selling. I said there's an aspect of marketing that is dead for us that work for companies. They don't want to know what your product is. All they want is how much are you bringing back. If you are bringing back 10% and the next person is giving back 20%, forget it. Whether you have the best product or not, they go to that person. So I said you should please address that area. Then secondly, everything you've spoken about today, you said go to Instagram, sell. Lawyers are not meant to advertise because the profession does not allow advertisement. Now, he needs to come back to treat services. Doctors, architects, engineers, lawyers like me, instead of selling one thing or the other. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, sir, products too are services. Services too is a product. So, for instance, let's take a doctor as a case study. Doctors are allowed to advertise, but most of the time, doctors are allowed to create content. But you don't give any professional help. So you not what they do, for instance, there's a radio program on Nigeria if I listen to, or there's this doctor, Akpoko doctor, whatever, where he just give content. So guy talks about diabetes. He doesn't give you a drug, but he talks about things you can do. Now, most of the time, when people have diabetic problem, who do they look for? That doctor. The same way, lawyers cannot advertise, but lawyers can give legal content. And so, for instance, because when people have legal problems, sometimes they Google it. And because you have spoken about it, when they Google it, your Instagram page or whatever will pop up. And say, this lawyer talk about it. His phone number is there. Let me even call him and see. So most of the time it's the same approach. Whether it's the service, whether it's a product. Because service is a product. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it's the same approach. If you can advertise a product, create content. With that content, you're already advertising. I know what I'm saying now. Yes. Because when Google, people are searching for that product, you appear. And when you appear, people love it. Now, do you know what this? The more the content you are creating, the more. Do you know these are our phones? If, as we are talking about marketing here now, you'll be surprised on Instagram in the next 1 or 2 days. Some of your Instagram posts will be about marketing. Because your phone is listening to what we are saying. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yes. Your phone, they hear. So many people are discussing, how can we find this legal? Your phone, they hear. Instagram is sending content to you that somebody has produced, and that in that area. So that's how it works. But you have to put in that initial work. And sometimes initially, especially for where you cannot sponsor it, because that's what they call sponsored post. A sponsored post is a post you create, and then you tell Facebook that you want to spend maybe 10,000 naira every day to make sure this post is appearing more. It's a sponsored post. But for your own kind of service, you might not even be able to sponsor it. But gradually, it starts building traction. Before you know what? In your area, you dominate. Are you getting me now? Let's look at a case scenario. Do you know there's this guy called Bidemi Olauba? Do you know him? Who doesn't know Bidemi Olauba here? Bidemi Olauba, I don't even know his church. I don't even think he sings in any church. What he does is that he's a good praise and worship leader. What did Bidemi Olauba do? Bidemi Olauba, every month, every first day of every month, he will do a video of praise and what? Worship. Today, they call Bidemi Olauba 001, gospel artist. He's the video of gospel artist, 001. He was at the last experience. 2 years ago, they would never think about him. Yes. But he's able to create enough what? Content online. That in the physical, he was creating it spiritually. And because the spiritual controls the physical, he has appeared in the physical now. So, no matter the service you are offering, create content. You see that gradually you move yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Billboard question.
Okay. I want to give another example, like for services. Like I have an optician friend, and just like you said, they can't come and advertise. So you can imagine I was chatting with her and she was like, how can she? Okay. Open TikTok, Instagram. Just don't come and be telling us about, but just come and talk about how to make sure your eyes are good. Tell us about what to eat to improve your sight. And when you are done, be selling glasses. You are not, just sell glasses. Use this for sunscreen. She can be making millions from selling glasses. Because people will just assume she knows what I should do. And they'll patronize you. So services most time does not necessarily mean, most time we are stuck with what we do. We feel it has to be that just dance around it. Just dance around it. Just come and advise. And before you know it, people will follow you. And of course, like I said, once they need it, you'll be the first person for them to call. So, our time is up. Please make sure you are here next week. Like I said earlier, it's not about listening. We've heard so much. But just do one. Out of everything that you heard, do one. When you get results, you move to the next thing. But we cannot make it by just listening and listening. But we can make it when we do. Put into practice what we are learning. And another thing that I noticed is that most time we need to sit down and think. Thinking is work. At times you need to lock up yourself in your room and answer the questions. Who are my customers? Why are they buying from me? What do they need? You need to sit down and think deep. At times you can even go online and Google it. What do? You'll be surprised from the result that you get. And when you get the answers, then begin to practice it. What is the con in your own industry? It's an assignment. And I think next week you should even ask us, what's the con? Yeah. What's the con? We should be able to say, this is the con in my industry. And once you put out the con, to work now. There's money in Nigeria. Oh, don't let kid ourselves. There is money. There's money. Oh. But you need to know what exactly to do. Thank you, Pastor. Can we appreciate him again? Pastor Isaac, offering.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The issue of the billboard, very good point. Is going to be addressed probably when Pastor is back. So I think like you said, my con. We have cons in this church. It's just that we're not sprinkling them, like you said. So as a matter of fact, Pastor Akinwale, like you said, it's a con. There are a lot of cons there. All of us. So, Pastor will address that issue when he comes back. But I just quickly want to remind us some of our meetings for the rest of the month. We should not forget our karaoke meeting is going to take place I think December 24. And I'm going to say something about this. Please, 5 to 6 p.m. It's a get-together meeting where we have nice times together, listen to music, have fun, then catch some gifts. Okay, that's a con too. If you come, there's something waiting for you. So we're saying this so that we need support from people, from all of us. If God is laying anything in your, we have needs, let me just put it that way. If God is dropping anything into your house to do concerning that meeting personally, you can just walk up to me, please, and let's talk about it. We're not asking for offering, we are only asking for support. We need lots of things. Kaude was saying it was yesterday that we would need something like around 650,000 naira to execute this particular meeting. So please, we're asking for help from all of us, and it's just like 14 or 15 days to go. So please help us out with this. My prayer is that God is going to help us in Jesus' name. Our fasting and prayer ends today. This is the end. Today is the end of the meeting. Yoruba used to say, let me not finish the proverb. And it has been very powerful meeting, full of revelation, and we thank God for doing that. Somebody said to me this last week, he said that when your church is calling for fasting and prayer, please don't miss it. I said, why? He said, you don't know. It may be because of you. I said, okay, I will not miss it. She was talking to me personally. She was sharing her experience that when your church, especially a denomination you attend, is calling for prayer, try everything in you to make sure you be part, even if not all. That you don't know the reason why that prayer and fasting is called. So please, let's be, and we will be looking at audacious faith next year. So let's all pray. And Pastor sent out all this information for us to prepare and to pray. So we will be going for our coffee break now. Before we go there, please, let's drop our offering. Let's give. Like I said, there are needs to be met in this house, and it's your offering and tithe and the gift you are giving to the church that will help us prosecute some of these things. So let's just give our offering this morning. If you have your your ATM, you can call any of the ushers to use the POS, or you transfer through into the church account. So let's give to God this morning. My prayer is that as we're giving, our God is going to bless us, replenish our pulse, and make His blessing to come upon us in the name of Jesus. As we step out of this place, let's step out as in making up our mind to begin to do according to what we have heard this morning. So we just have like 10-15 minutes break, and we come back for network service. God bless you for being here this morning. Thank you so much.
All right, it's a beautiful Sunday morning again, 8th of December, and we are glad to be here again, right here at the Bridge Network City Church. We want to welcome you from that wonderful and insightful session right there at the Real Success. And of course, right here at this table is the Bridge Connect, where we review, reflect, and everyone. That was such an amazing time right there. And it's a whole lot. We started last week, and today added another layer. And one of the things, Pastor Akamali also said that there's a need to sustain that momentum. That if you came last week, you need to follow it this week so they can add and add together to make it a whole. Let me start from my left, Pastor. What are we to learn from this? What are we to take away from all that was said today?
That's awesome. So you even think of hatching or getting cover even you way.
Yes, awesome.
All right, so for me, when you had that question, what is your cause? And so we saw the video last week and saw that that was one, it was more like an intentional act against the customer. And I remember, I mean, what you asked this morning, you need me to remember something I told one yesterday on the internet. And I think it was something, you don't bring in customers based on their intelligence. You do it based on their emotion, which is what she is saying to you now. That basically you need to go through the homework and say, oh, what can I use to exploit it? And because as a business person, you need to know what are the things that will attract your customers. What are the pain points? If you can find out what customers are struggling with and providing solutions, you'll be able to draw so many of them. If you go to the skills, business dynamics, that was basically what we said. We wanted the engineers like the iPhone, and it doesn't want more than 5 clicks away. Whatever they want to do on the computer, and he achieved that. And before you know it, iPhone came from the back to I think virtually all of them. And so basically, in our businesses, making a product, making a service, album of one. On the integrity part of service providing, what else can I add or bring to the table, like they say in popular color?
All right.
Question I asked, but I answered. What is my con? So it's assignment for everyone that listen and will still go back to it. You know your con. Once you know your con, then you have done your job happy. But if you don't know your con and you just go out, it's like that video where he threw the balls down. You're boxing the air. You don't know who is waiting. If you don't know the con, that's what will happen. So we are advised to know our con. When we know the con, we'll now know the bait we will use to get started. The second video was putting the con on the platform for the customers that they'll be. Because the person knew the kind of customers he wanted, he knew the confidence. So we don't go and put square pegs around, expecting that those square pegs around will give you the right. They won't.
And to talk about this thing also, to bring it in a spiritual perspective, that I'm precise, and that's all about it. But I'll go for
Because right now, speaking something from my speaker, also from a speaker perspective, is when we think about the parable of the sower, it had the corn, but then he didn't know it's soil.
So you just you just squeeze it up.
for me, it was the way even Pastor actually started talking about attitude. And he explained that attitude is actually how you respond to things. And then we now learned about the threats, about the opportunities. That if you focus on the threats, you tend to want to drop everything and run, and then still don't get that result you want. And even the opportunity, there's no sense of urgency. So there's nothing to be done. So there's that need to balance threat and opportunity. And I love the description he gave with the Red Sea analysis. That the children of the Israelites, they were camping already. But God knew already that these guys, they won't do anything. He had to harden the heart of someone that already said, oh yeah, just be going. All of a sudden he said, and then until the saw that threat, sometimes the miracles we are looking for is because sometimes the reason why we don't experience certain miracles is because there's no threat, there's nothing really for example, now someone is looking for a financial miracle, for example. Exactly. Until you identify a threat, for example.
But because of, I think, that attitude of I must live, this thing must work. I went out of my way and I kept checking and checking and checking. When something happens, most people just feel thing has gone wrong. And that's they don't do anything. We just feel like it's over. But in my bid to see what else to do, this can't be the end.
Yes.
I found it.
Exactly.
I found a good one. I found those that kept to their word. But that has to do with attitude, because it was start and after just didn't work. So attitude, I quite agree, is very, very.
And there was something also that he said that brought back context to it, to say that in Nigeria, why? Because there are so many threats. Well, fuel price can just increase tomorrow. So that means that there's a threat that what's the next wave?
Because they don't want to go out. I don't want to go out. They go pick it up. So it's an opportunity. Go and look for what can I do of this.
And it's such an impactful service this morning. So please, if faith comes by hearing, you need to go back to the message again. And of course, it's not just about so much about hearing it. The reason why we hear it is so that it can hear something in us that we actually do, because this is the season to do this is a season to just begin to. And I also love the way he ended it to say, just sell something. Whether as a service provider, whether you have a product, find something to sell. Whether in form of content, whether in form of product, find something to sell. And it is my prayer that as you hear it, something will be stirred up in
It's
your
my
spirit.
prayer that threats, not threats to come up.
And it's my own prayer now that your eyes will be open to see more opportunities to advance. And also, okay, all right, awesome. So, oh wow, improvement. All right, but it's our prayer that all of that you had today will stir something inside of you to begin to do great things. All of those dreams that you have, I pray that all of these words will steer you to action, that you can look back and you find big threats to chase you and the opportunities to lead you and launch you further into your destiny. This has been the Bridge Connect right here. And after this, we'll be go for the coffee break now because we need some coffee. And after that, we'll head straight into the network service where we are learning about audacious love. Audacious love. And what a great love God had for man that he came to die for us. So that's our time right here at the Bridge Connect. See you at the network service.
What's that about?